What if the most powerful move you could make right now was to disappear? Most people are exhausted, not from working too hard, but from performing. Performing on social media, performing for people who will forget them by tomorrow, performing a version of success they don't even want anymore. And deep inside, there's a quiet voice that keeps asking the same question. What could I become if I stopped trying to impress everyone and just built something real? This video is the answer to that question. There was a man named Marcus who lived in a small apartment in a city that didn't know his name. He was in his early 30s, working a job that paid the bills but drained his soul. Every evening he scrolled through the highlights of other people's lives, the promotions, the vacations, the wins, and he felt a familiar sting he couldn't quite name. Was it envy? Was it sadness? Or was it simply the awareness that he was watching his own potential pass him by? One evening, Marcus made a quiet decision. He didn't announce it. He didn't post about it. He simply decided that for the next 6 months, he would disappear. Not physically, but socially. He deleted the apps from his phone. He stopped attending every event he was invited to. He stopped explaining himself to people who questioned why they hadn't heard from him. He became a ghost. And in that silence, something extraordinary began to happen. He started waking up an hour earlier every morning, not because someone told him to, but because he finally had something worth waking up for. He began learning a new skill he had been putting off for 3 years. He read books that stretched his thinking. He took walks where he just thought. No headphones, no distractions, just his mind sorting itself out. He started eating better, not from discipline, but from respect for the body he was now paying attention to. Months passed, and then one evening, he received a message from an old acquaintance who had seen him at a coffee shop and barely recognized him. The message read, "Marcus, what happened to you? You look different. You seem different. What changed?" Marcus smiled and replied with just 2 words. "I disappeared." Here is the truth that most people miss. Transformation is not a public event. It is a private war. Every great shift in a person's life happens in rooms no one else enters, in hours no one else sees, in habits no one applauds. The world celebrates the reveal, but it never shows up for the work. And that is exactly why so many people never change. They need an audience to motivate them. They need validation to sustain them. But real growth does not run on applause. It runs on commitment made to yourself, alone, in the dark. Going ghost is not about arrogance. It is not about cutting people off out of pride. It is about protecting the version of yourself that is still forming. A seed does not grow in the open air. It grows underground, in the dark, in pressure, away from the crowd. And when it finally breaks through the surface, no one can deny what it has become. Think of silence as a laboratory. When you remove the noise, the opinions, the comparisons, the endless digital chatter, you finally hear yourself clearly. You discover what you actually want, not what you have been told to want. You discover what you are actually capable of, not what fear has convinced you is possible. Now, here is what going ghost actually looks like in practice. It means you stop talking about your plans and start executing them. It means you trade late nights, scrolling for early mornings, building. It means you become intentional about who gets your time and energy, because both are finite and precious. It means that when people ask what you have been up to, your answer is a result. Not a story, not a promise, not a vision, a result. Pick one area of your life that matters most right now. One skill, one business, one relationship with your own health. And for the next 6 months, make it your private obsession. Do not post every step. Do not seek permission. Do not update anyone on your progress until the progress speaks for itself. Protect your process the way a sculptor protects an unfinished statue. Covered, guarded, away from judgment until the moment it is ready to be seen. 6 months. That is all you need. Not a year, not a decade. Just 6 months of intentional, focused, quiet effort. 6 months of choosing growth over entertainment. 6 months of showing up for yourself before anyone else shows up for you. The people who will matter most in your story are not watching your social media feed. They are waiting at the destination you have not yet reached. Go build your way there, in silence, in discipline, in the calm certainty that you are becoming someone worth becoming. Go ghost, and come back transformed.